Hey everybody, this is Leslie at GoToKitchens.com. I'm just like a periscoping fool today. Hey Vicky, it's good to see you. How are you guys doing? It's good to see you again today. Today is Wednesday and it is time for my inspirational post. And I'm excited to share this one with you today. And so let me introduce myself really fast, and then I'm going to ask you to share it with your followers if you would. You can just write down here in the corner, if you just tap that little guy right on top of his head and share out with your followers, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much, Gwen, for doing that. And I just did a Periscope about joining a class. This has nothing to do with that, by the way. Thank you guys for sharing out on Twitter and with your followers here and out on Facebook as well. So my name is Leslie. I have a website, GoToKitchens.com. I like to call myself a light bulb expert. And I call myself that is because I had cancer 3 years ago. And when I had cancer, I had a light bulb moment in my health. Thank you so much, guys. I had a light bulb moment in my health, and the light bulb went off and said, hey, you have cancer for a reason and you need to figure out why that is. And so I started a journey down a path to discovery, to discover what health and wellness meant to me. And it was a very powerful journey. And from that, a lot of things have blossomed into beautiful things. So the cancer that I had really changed my life for the better, but I want to help you have light bulb moments and change your life before you have cancer. So it was almost too late for me, and I don't want it to be too late for you. So I do that through real food nutrition. I do that, sorry, my computer just made a noise. I do that, let me mute it real quick. I do that through real food nutrition. I do that through these inspirational posts, which hopefully help you get your mind on straight and your soul. Hi, Rosemary. Thanks for being here. And so every day, or close, like today I didn't have one, but every day that I feel inspired, I actually put up a post on Facebook under my personal name, Leslie Nance, LESLIENANCE, and it has a hashtag always associated with it. And it says, it's always light, never darkness is that hashtag. And so yesterday I actually wrote this post, and I'm just now getting around to sharing it as my inspirational moment here on Periscope because I didn't have time yesterday. So thank you. Yeah, thanks for being here. And so, so this is what it says. And I'm just going to read you the post and then we'll talk about it. So this was yesterday morning that I wrote this, and it says, my very wise dad says, and this is his quote, actually, prayer does not change things. This is kind of shocking, actually. Prayer does not change things. When I pray, prayer changes me and I change things. And then I went on to say, lean into the wisdom of that statement and say your prayers. So for some of you, praying might be called meditation. Some of you, it just may be a silent moment or a silent stop in your day. And for some of you, it's going to be prayer. For me, it's prayer. I actually pray to God. I'm a believer, and I pray to God. I'm not shy about that at all. And for me, it's prayer. And so to think about the fact that when I pray, that is not what is, that's right. That is not what is changing things. So when I pray for change, right, that prayer is not what is changing things. What happens when I pray is I reflect inward and I reflect on what I consider my supreme being, right? And so I reflect on that, and then that changes me and I change things. That's what prayer does. That's the powerful purpose of prayer, is that it changes you so that you can change things. It changes your mindset so that you can make the changes that are best for you. And it's one of the most powerful statements. I have to tell you, I don't think it's his. I think it actually comes from a reading out of Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest, which is one of my favorite books ever on the planet. If you ask me my top 3 favorite books, this would be one of those books. It is full of wisdom and guidance. And if you took every scripture that's in that book out of there, every Bible verse out of there, it is still one of the most inspirational books ever written, in my opinion. I read it every night. It's my devotional. It's what I read, and it's an amazing, amazing tool for life. And I think that I've actually read that in there. But my dad instilled this in my brain when I was very young, and he was exposed to this wisdom. He exposed me to his wisdom that he had learned, and taught me the purpose of prayer. So when I had cancer, I was in a tailspin. I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. What in the world? I have a perfect fairy tale life, and now cancer gets dropped into the middle of it. What is this? And I was literally a complete and total and utter freaking crazy mess. And my mom and dad came from Texas to Colorado to be with us that Christmas, because it was right before Christmas. They had come here, and I will never forget. I'm going to try not to cry, but I will never forget. I was actually sitting in my dad's lap. We were sitting in this. I'm a big, he's like, I'm not like a child, right? I'm a petite woman, but not, I'm an adult. And I was so upset, and I just wanted my mom and dad. That's all I wanted, is I just wanted my mom and dad. And so I actually was sitting in my dad's lap, and we were talking. I was like, Dad, I just need for you to pray for me. And he said, remember what I've always taught you about prayer? And I said, yeah. And he's like, don't you think that applies here? And I started thinking about that. And as I think about it today, in hindsight, being 2020, in hindsight of that, I think about it now, and I think, oh my goodness, he's so right. And it's so relevant, because 3 years ago, when I started to pray, I wasn't praying for healing or anything like that, even not that I don't believe in it, but I was praying, God, I need a path. I need you to help me. I need you to guide me. I need to know what's next. I need to figure out next steps. And it wasn't that prayer changed things. It was that I was praying, and that I changed, and that I began to change things. So it was this beautiful circle, this full circle of beautiful things. And that's where I started changing my mindset. And that's where I started taking control of my health. And that's when I started becoming the CEO of my cancer. And that's when I decided, started making good decisions for myself and could come out of my funk, because I realized the powerfulness of being still and being steady. And honestly, to that point, I'd really gotten out of the practice of praying and being still and being steady and being quiet and reflecting to God and having God reflect back to me. I had forgotten those principles. But when you're thrown into the lion's den, what's the first thing you do? You pray. Even if you're not a believer. I know people who are not believers, but they get thrown in the lion's den and they start praying. So it is a powerful tool that is not to be underestimated, but it's the purpose of prayer is so that you change and that you change things. Not that the prayer changes things, but that you change and that you change things. And it's such a powerful statement, and it's such a powerful emotion when you start to realize the power of that. And I ask every single day, I ask before my God, which may not be your God, and I'm totally cool with that. If you meditate, if you have silent moments, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me what you believe. I don't care what you believe. All I care about is that you realize that you're part of this human race. That's the most important thing to me, is that you realize that you're a human sharing a planet with a lot of other humans. And that your intentions are pure, and that your intentions are good, and that you are influencing and not manipulating. That's where I care about what you believe and what makes you who you are. So whether you call it meditation, whether you call it whatever you call it, I'm perfectly fine with. I call it prayer. For me, it's prayer. And so I spend that time in prayer, and it helps me come here and do this with you guys. It helps me be in my kitchen. It helps me focus on my business. It helps me stay in love with my husband. It helps me, nurture my dog and my family and take care of my house. It helps all of those things. It's who I am. It's what belongs to me. It's what I've created through the power of that thoughtful prayer. And so I just want to encourage you guys, if you are not spending some time in your day alone and in the quiet, it doesn't have to be half an hour. It doesn't have to be an hour. You don't need to be on your knees, and full prostrate with your head down. And you don't even need all that. All you need is 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever build yourself up. Mine is about 15 to 20 minutes. Build yourself up to a time period. Do it when it's convenient for you. God doesn't care. And spend some time in thoughtful meditation or thoughtful prayer, being grateful for the things that have given to you, letting go of things that you cannot control, and asking for the wisdom to move forward, to be different, to execute what you're trying to do, to give you the fortitude to get through the things that are tough and to realize the things that are good. And so once you start using those purposes, it's not the prayer, it's not the meditation that changes things. It's that when you pray or you meditate or you have those silent moments, that changes you and you begin to change things. That's where the big difference is. And so that's just what I want to encourage you guys with today. That's my inspiration for today. Thank you, every single one of you, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you very, very much. If you're not following me or you're in replay right now, please remember that you can give hearts even in replay. So I would love it if you throw some hearts down. If you like what you're hearing, if you're not following me, please follow me. You can follow me by swiping either way, up or down, left or right. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Rosemary. And follow me. I would appreciate that as well. We do a regular Periscope at noon Mountain Time. Thank you, Linda. We do a regular Periscope at noon Mountain Time. And we focus on health and wellness in those scopes. We do a lot of kitchen stuff. That's really where I'm strong, is in the kitchen. And so we do a lot of kitchen stuff. And I hope you guys will join us in one of those Periscopes as well. And if you're watching me for the first time and you come back and watch me again live, please let me know that you're new here. I love to see new people. I love to greet you and say hello. So I love you too, Rosemary, so very much. So you guys have an amazing afternoon. I will be back here tomorrow at noon Mountain Time. I'm actually doing a blab with Evan Summers tonight at 5:15 Mountain Time. And we are talking about this course with Dr. Josh Axe that we are both involved with. So if you want more information about that, you can check that out on Blab. There's a link in the VIP page for you to connect. So bye, Rosemary. Thank you guys. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow. Love ya. Go pray.